This is Adam Lowe, the Yorai Tanuki, the cosplay killer, and this is my Brit Rest journey.
Yo, what's going on? It's your boy, Big Wavy Roy Johnson here.
This is the professional Nathan Cruz.
Yo, this is Man Like Doris.
Hi, this is Tom Thurman.
This is Benji.
This is the Asian sensation Kanji.
This is the Nightmare Fuel Hassan Malone.
This is Joe Rage, the heavyweight classic.
This is Mad Dog O'Doherty.
This is Tonga.
I'm the Breaker, Carl Kingsley.
This is the infamous Cameron Solis, and you're listening
to
Broken but Glorious.
Broken but Glorious.
To Broken but Glorious podcast, because like me, you are head to toe a pro.
Hello and welcome to my Brit Rest journey on bbgwrestling.com. I'm Chris Lappin and delighted to be joined on the line by the cosplay killer, Adam Lowe. How you doing this evening, Adam?
I'm living the dream every single day. I love how you went from your normal talking to your entertainment podcast voice.
Yeah.
That's made my day.
It's like when my stepdad, he has his normal Warrington talking voice, and then he has his posh, I'm talking to a company voice. It's hilarious.
Sometimes you do have to whap out the I would like to speak to the manager voice.
But he suddenly goes dead low pitched and like enunciates everything overly, and it's dead weird. But yeah, the rest of the time he just talks like he's from Warrington.
Nice.
But you said before,
I don't know what to say back to that. Right, if I say anything, it'll come out as insulting. And if I do say something nasty, like another demographic will be like, "Why do you like Warrington so much?" Well, okay.
So how you doing this evening? Thank you for joining me this evening. And how's your return post lockdown? Because you retired, didn't you?
I genuinely don't like wrestling. And this is a weird one. I never ever wanted to be on shows. I did it just for training. I really like the training aspect of it. And I think it's more confidence. I never ever believed in myself. Ever. And this year I finally got I don't know what happened, but I was like, you know what? Let's give it a shot. I'll try. And I'm glad. I'm actually really glad because I've been training 6-7 years now, coming on to 7 years. And if you just take a step back, and I'm still on shows and stuff like that, but I've learned so much that if I did it 2 years in, I'd have probably annoyed everyone because I was an idiot. I was a genuine idiot and I know nothing. And now I think I know some stuff. And then you speak to people that have been doing it longer and you're like, oh my God, I don't know anything.
So was that, so I first saw you at, was that show just outside Wrexham? There was a carnival. The Bale.
Oh yeah, the carnival.
Bradley Carnival. Yeah. So was that your first match back?
No, it wasn't.
No.
I do the carnivals every year for Britannia because they are some of the best shows and you can have a laugh. You can do whatever you want. And because they're not a wrestling crowd, that expect, here comes the double down. We know to get into it now. And, these moves must be coming next. You have to play around with stuff. So that was about my 4th or 5th match back. And cool. Remember, on the carnivals, you're not just doing one match. You're doing 3 in a day.
You did. Didn't you have 2 matches and 2 battle royals as well?
Yeah. They're a fun paycheck, which is why in the battle royals you either go out very, very, very quickly, or I want to do some stuff. I'll stay in for half an hour.
Yeah, I think I recorded both the battle royals. I think the first one was 4 minutes long, and the second one was 7 minutes long or something. They weren't very long battle royals.
Yeah. Battle royals on the carnivals, they're used as here's the intermission.
Yes.
Everybody go away, come back in an hour. We'll have another show. So yeah, they're really good. And the first show that I did coming back was against Dougie Matthews. And we were the opener in some weird place. I can't pronounce Welsh names, even though now I'm in a Welsh faction. And we got blown up. It was a 20-minute match, and we got blown up. And that was when I realised, coming back from the 3-month lockdown, of, oh, okay, I need to get back in shape.
Yes, I think you were against Dan White, the first match I watched, and you were against, was his name Josh King, the young lad? Josh?
Yes, it is Josh White or Josh King. I'm really sorry if I've offended him and I've got it wrong. Before this actual podcast, because I got out of the shower at 8 o'clock, and you wanted to start recording at 8 o'clock, and I still hadn't written my card, and I was messaging people like, "Oh my god, what's your name?" Because I'm really scared that I'm going to offend people and say, "Cat's out the bag," but sometimes you don't use a name in wrestling. Yes. You use an over the top like Butt Hansworth or something, and I was like, "Is this your name?" But yeah, I was against him, and it was awesome because I was like, "Yo, my finish is a gotch pile driver. Are you cool with that?" And it was like, "Yeah." Are you sure? Are you sure you're okay with that? And he was like, "Yeah." And then he's just, unfortunately, he's that young. He just said yes. And I told him off afterwards. I was like, "I know that you've not taken a pile driver. Most of all, a gotch pile driver. So why did you say yes?" So as I got him midway up, I could feel the fear in him. Yeah. So I just gave him neutralizer, the Cesaro's finish or old finish. And he was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, he seemed like he must have only been like, was it 14, 15? He doesn't look that old.
Yeah, he's 15. He's one of the Britannia trainees. Yeah. He's a really, really good lad. He's coming on a lot. Watching his progression each week at the dojo, it's something to behold. Like, I feel bad because I joined late, and if I joined wrestling at like 14, 15, I'd be like, "Oh my God, I can do all of this." And you're more flexible. You can do like backflips, which I'm jealous of. But yeah, by the time he's like 22, he's going to be awesome.
Yeah, the amount of wrestlers that say they wish they started when they were a teenager, I've spoken to. It's something I wished I did when I was younger now. But
yeah, it's just keeping interested in it as well. And lots of people do take breaks. There's nothing wrong with that.
No. So that after that, were you against Dougie Matthews or Joey Marcus at Fusion?
I was against the good old pirate, Joey Marcus. There's a very good photo of me giving him a forearm.
Yes.
And I don't know how the photographers captured it, but his entire face wobbles.
Yeah.
And they've caught it just at the moment. Like, you know, when you watch stuff in slow motion, like somebody throwing a water balloon, it's like that. And it's one of my most proud moments in wrestling, just watching that forearm. I really, really enjoyed that match. I know on the podcast he said I'd love to go round 2. And the same happens. I'd love to go as many times with Joey as possible. I love the guy. He's great.
Yeah.
And he's getting better and better. And he's tapped into this whole new side of wrestling. So, when he came back from lockdown, obviously he's had this amazing weight loss journey. And he's getting fitter. And he was like, "I want to get a little bit more ruthless. I want to get a little bit more aggressive."
Yeah.
And I've been showing him some catch wrestling, some jiu-jitsu. And every week at the dojo, we do something called Shark Tank, which is, it's something that I brought from jiu-jitsu. You get one person in the middle, both on your knees, 1 minute. You win and you get out of the Shark Tank if you tap or submit somebody or pin them.
Yes.
You stay in the Shark Tank if you lose, and you keep going. And each week I show them a new submission or a new technique. So last week we were doing breaking the guard. And I'm showing them all of these catch and BJJ techniques. And then I go, okay, well, how can we work that into pro wrestling? So breaking the guard, for example, I gave them a Jushin Liger spot where they're in guard, and you go to give them a strike, you catch the arm bar, you tease the arm bar, you get into a headstand, twist over yourselves, throw them into the pin, and then you've got that separation. and through that separation, you can go into your next spot, or you can work it. You can work that arm bar, bring it back, break the guard, pass, go into full mount, start wailing on them, and the crowd are like, wow, these are really fighting. And watching Joey Marcus take all of that, and now he's got the comedy in his repertoire, and now he's got the legitimate fight style. I think he's great.
Yeah, I can't wait. So when he's only just turned 18, 19, he's not old at all. So when he's 22, 23, 24, I can't wait to see what he's going to be like.
Oh, yeah. I've made the mistake of starting to go out with all of these new people that I'm meeting in wrestling, and I can't keep up with them. I've turned 27 this year, and they're all like 18, 19, and I never had that in life. I never went out. So I'm like living it now. I'm like, I used to party in my student days. I can't keep up. I went out with them and it was in Huddersfield. I had a 2-day hangover. I slept through the entirety of Saturday and woke up at 7, and they'd gone out to Leeds. And I was still there, just waking up like, oh man, I need an Indian. I need something to make this go away. So I'm learning to pace myself.
Yeah, definitely. I can't drink anymore. I went to TNT Extreme last Thursday, and I had like a 3-day hangover after. So I think I had 5 pints by the time we got to the show. God knows how much I drank at the show. I can barely remember the main events.
I don't know how to explain it, but I genuinely am starting to feel a little bit old by saying this. And I don't want to be in that place. I don't want to be in that place. Can we not talk about like Digimon or put like Tamagotchis or something? Like, yeah, they were awesome to make us feel good again.
Yeah. The first time I remember feeling like I'm too old to drink because I went to the Download Festival in 2000.
Oh, it's awesome. It's awesome.
10. We got there on the Wednesday, and by the Friday I was done because we just drank for 2 days.
Yeah.
In the past, you drank for 5 days non-stop. But I got to the Friday, I was like, I want to go home. And the music hadn't even started yet.
That's the thing that people that don't go festivals don't know. Like, I religiously went to Leeds Festival. Yes. And I love heavy music. I like Download. One of my friends has just come back from Pirate Fest, which I've now just figured out is a thing. And they're going to Viking Festival as well. And I love heavy music. But most people don't realize is you rock up on the Wednesday.
Yes.
And there's DJ sets, there's silent discos, there's like all of these cool side attractions.
Or you just sit in the field with your mates.
Yeah. And then like everyone that's gone there is in the same frame of mind. They're like, I really want to just have a good time. I want to meet new people. I want to rock out. So this is one of my best stories. It's not wrestling related at all.
Oh, cool.
But one of my claims to fame is, I don't even know if it's a claim to fame, but we stopped Bullet from a Valentine from playing.
Yeah.
Yeah. This was at Leeds Fest 2012, and I'm still friends with my like high school friends, and we all decided to go to Leeds together, as you do, so you can find each other when you're separated. We always went as themes. One year we went as the Vatican, so we all went as nuns. Dressed up as nuns. And there was, without a lie, I'm not exaggerating, there were 20 of us in our camp. And there was one person, a very, very good friend of mine, who is 6'4", albino, blind, Norwegian, Dutch, English person. So he looks like a Viking.
Yeah.
And he's dressed as the Pope. Bullet My Valentine, they've just finished a song, and they're like entering like a chop sequence to get you ready for the next one. And we start a circle pit, and as the circle pit's going, the rest of us realise that this circle pit's happening. It's getting bigger, and there's just 20 nuns running around one Pope. So my friend's in the middle, as the Pope. Nuns are running round as a circle pit, and the whole a lot of the crowd realise that this is happening, and they start chanting, "Hail the Pope." But from a Valentine are like, wow, this is weird. This is obviously not planned. They then stop, acknowledge us, and are like, right, we want to get this pit bigger. It gets massive. And then they do a wall of death, and it was awesome. It was awesome. Yeah.
Sounds great. Yeah, I've seen both for my Valentine, but when I saw them, I didn't know anything. It's one of them, you see a band at a festival, and then you discover them at the festival, and then you get to learn the music afterwards. So I watched them not knowing any of their music when I saw them. Yeah, but then
one of the best things is when you can be like, oh yeah, bring me. Oh, I saw them when they started on the pit stage at this side stage on the festival, and you're like, oh yeah, and then like a few years later they're headlining it, and you're like, oh cool.
Yes. Yeah. I did that.
Sorry, yeah, this is a wrestling podcast, isn't it? Like, we should incorporate Fozzy or something in. We played Chester. It was nice.
Oh, God, did I miss that? I was just so... Because it was just before Christmas, I was absolutely pressing. So I was like,
yeah, one of my favourite things he posts on his socials, and he's pointing at a poster of local wrestling. I'm like, oh, look at him. What a lad.
Yeah, it was a EPW show, wasn't it? So I think they do Chester quite often. Regularly.
I think so. I don't want to offend anyone. I think it was. I know Harley was on the poster and Sheik was on the poster.
Yes.
So yeah, could have been.
Yeah, definitely.
Insert 3 letters, combine them together. It's a 3-letter promotion. It's going to be one of them, isn't it?
Yeah, EPW are a fun show. I've been to twice, I think. Yeah, they're just like a bit like an all-star show, just a family show. They tend to have.
Oh, awesome! I love that.
But they usually have about 4 matches and then a battle royal. There's not really a storyline going through. It's just 4 fun matches. Goodies versus baddies. Yeah, it's just a family show. It's
bread and butter of British wrestling, like coming up from the camps and obviously little town halls. So yeah, bread and butter. Love that stuff.
Yeah, that was my oldest, who's 16 now. We took him when he must have been 10, and he loved shouting at all the baddies, and the baddies re-interacting back with him. Yeah, that was his first ever wrestling. But Bram was on the show, so he thought it was a TNA show. So I did. Okay, yeah, we had a TNA show in my town hall.
He's got him in. He's done his job.
Howdy everyone, this is the Maestro Philip Michael, and you're listening to BBG Wrestling.
If we go way back?
Yeah, we should talk about that, yeah.
Favorite wrestler growing up? Were you a wrestling fan?
It's ODB.
Ooh.
Genuinely, it's ODB. And it always will be. I think she's awesome. I think she's incredible. Now, very, very different approach, but growing up, it was ODB.
Oh, she looks so different to the knockouts at the time. A bit her versus the Beautiful People. It was just the contrast in styles. I loved it. Yeah.
So the very first live wrestling match that I ever watched was ODB versus Awesome Kong, and this is why she's my favorite wrestler. Growing up, I actually didn't watch wrestling. We're not that into it. We didn't have Sky, and WWE was on Sky. So we're at Universal, and at the time Universal were hosting TNA tapings. So first match, they came out with Twizzlers, and they were really revving the crowd up, like, who wants a free pack of Twizzlers? Yeah, and that's what they must have used for the Panacross shots to get people Mexican waving. And then ODB comes out with a massive turkey leg, and she spits it into the crowd. And my dad was like, all right, I like wrestling now. So to this day, the only wrestlers that my dad knows are ODB and Mick Foley. That's it. Wow. No other wrestling exists to him.
Yeah. So what prompted you to do Untitled and get them in yourself?
When you invited me on, I had to actually think about this. When I say I don't like wrestling, I actually do. And it was at a game of Dungeons and Dragons, and one of my friends really wanted to play a wrestling character in D&D.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And this is a concept that I'd love to stretch out. I want to get a load of wrestlers to do a British D&D podcast, but as your character.
Yes.
So yeah, it was at a game of D&D, and we were talking about local schools near us, and I'm from Crewe, and there isn't a school near me, unfortunately. So we were Googling, we were looking them up, and throughout like college, we were like, we just can't find a school. Roll around like a year later of constantly looking up, and we find this school, and we both head down to the first week, and I fell in love with it. I was like, this is awesome. And my background is MMA, jiu-jitsu, and I was like, what wrestling? Why do I want to mess around with that? But I've still got that memory of watching TNN. I was like, actually, I really like it. I'll go to the first session, and then I have to move away to London for my uni. I did politics in London, and I find this school, Lucha Britannia. So each week on a Monday, I learned Lucha, and I was like, oh, this is really awesome. And then fast forward, like 6-7 years later, I'm still doing it. I don't know why, but I'm still doing it. It's weird. I kept all the way through saying, I don't want to wrestle, don't want to do it. I still love it. I love it.
Did you have an idea of a character when you started like training that you wanted to be?
I wanted to be a mad scientist.
Ooh.
So, yeah, I got thrown in to shows at the Redacted Wrestling Academy way earlier than what I should have done. And it was a very steep learning curve. And I wanted to do a mad scientist gimmick. And then I wanted to do a lawyer gimmick. And then I wanted to do, essentially, I wanted to play D&D.
Have you seen
wrestling?
Professor Nicodemus and Shakara?
No, I haven't.
Yeah,
I love Shakara as well. Yeah.
He created 3 monsters that are like his henchmen.
Yeah.
Yeah. That could have been a fun gimmick to have on the vicious scene.
Yeah, well, like in fact, looking over, I've still got the lab coat in my wardrobe. I come out in a lab coat, and I was told not to wear it. And I draw like lobotomy marks across my forehead and stuff.
Yeah.
I wanted to go down that route because if in this fantasy world where we can play whatever character that we want to, why not be a mad scientist creation? Like, it'd be awesome.
Yes.
So, I ended up not having a character at all. Because all of my characters were insane. Like, I wanted to do a lawyer that only won matches because of bylaws and technicalities. Because at the time I was studying philosophy, politics, economics, and stuff like that. So like, actually, you haven't beat me because bylaw 5.27 of the Cheshire Code says that if you touch the ropes for more than 5 seconds, as you know, but the bylaw says that nowhere does it say that you can't do it over like multiple amounts of time. So say someone goes to the ropes, they do 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I've got till 5. And then they touch the ropes again. Well, the bylaws say that that's still technically 5. You're disqualified. Yes. I win. Oh, you want a match? No, see me in court, and then you can do the whole court scene, but in the ring.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
You can bring in other wrestlers, and they're the witnesses. The jury's just like the crowd, and they're like, "Is he guilty?" And you get him involved. I'd love that.
Oh, I'm sure there'll be a promotion to let you do that. That sounds so fun.
Yeah. I mean, if there was a promotion that let me do what I want, it'd just be wrestlers sat around the ring playing D&D. I'm a huge nerd. I've got, I'm not ashamed of it.
Right, so you're also a member of a new faction called the North Wales Collective. Ryan Rias, Joey Marcus, Boogie Matthews. Shall I use Jiha? Or shall I use
the one that they call Jinha has now joined the North Wales Collective.
So Joey kind of teased the faction during our interview, but tell us a bit more about the creation of the team and where you met the lads and stuff.
So we are a ragtag group of wrestlers that have found each other post-lockdown, and to quote one of my favourite singers, Lizzo, if I'm a shine, then everybody's going to shine.
Yes.
And the whole point of it is, it's not a faction, but it is. It's just about bringing each other up. North Wales doesn't really have much of a wrestling scene, and at the moment, Real, which is where the dojo is, Landudno. It's just about, well, let's bring each other up. Let's go learn all of these styles. Let's go train at all of these places, and let's show it. and it's open to anyone that just wants to help each other out. Don't think it'll stop here. If you you don't even have to be North Wales, but if you feel like you genuinely don't belong in a certain place, myself, like Crew, there's nothing around me.
No.
And you've got a style, come join in with us. Let's help each other. The reason Brit Rest got so over is because everyone was helping each other out. When I say, if I'm shine, then everybody's going to shine. What's the point in negativity? What's the point in bickering? What's the point in all of these divides? No, let's just help each other out. Let's put this section on the map.
Well, that's amazing. It's an amazing message to get across.
Yeah. There's why wouldn't you want to be better? If you genuinely love wrestling and you want wrestling to be better, then why not push everyone to be better?
Definitely. Yeah, so it's not going to be like a North Wales version of the Bullet Club something.
Oh, no, what are you on about? No, we want 20, 30 members, all the imports, whenever they come across. That's it. Yeah, you're Northern Welsh now.
More like an NWO, though, anyone can join. So you'll have to have a
genuinely,
bit of
though, if you want to make wrestling better, because it's not a faction, but it is. And if you just want to help each other out, do it. So yeah, Bullet Club, why not? No, the whole thing though is that we're young wrestlers who just want to help each other out. And let's see where it goes. I wasn't even meant to be in it. I didn't know that I was in it until I was told that I was in it. That's how wrestling happens to me. I just find myself in things. Oh, you're booked. Am I? I didn't know. Okay. I'll see you then. Oh, you're in a faction now. Am I? Okay. Cool. It's good to know. Yeah.
So I was seeing on Instagram that you and Jin have been going around filming promo stuff. Was that as kind of prep for what was meant to be Britannia on the 29th, which has been rescheduled for the 19th of February?
So that is for myself and him. For him, keep an eye out on it because, once again, the creative side's coming out. So for the one that they call Jinha, not much is known about him right now other than that he comes from Benidorm. And he is a genuine demon incarnate.
Yes.
And we're filming, I was really hoping that it was going to be out by now, but we're filming all of these promos and videos, that are gritty and show him being summoned. Cause it's hard to get him, for a booking. You can't just, DM him and then be you've got to go out to a church or an abandoned graveyard or a castle that's, had a lot of misfortune. You've got to do the right ritual and you've got to really talk to the dead to bring him. It's not a joke. It's not a joke. Honestly, getting him into the car is a hard feat. And he doesn't speak a word of English. So it's been a weird few weeks and it's a relationship that I never thought I'd ever have, and it's one of the best relationships that I've ever made in wrestling. I can't wait for him to come onto the podcast. I don't know who's going to have to translate, but he generally can't speak a word of English.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
We're filming these videos. And can you remember the first season of Lucha Underground?
I've never watched Lucha Underground. I've heard amazing things about it. When I got Netflix, I was like, yes, I can watch Lucha Underground, but it's not on British Netflix. So,
Daily Motion or anything like that. Please watch season 1 if you like wrestling. It's fantastic. The way that it cuts from a segment to an in-ring match, it's kind of like an action film where they have all of these side sections, and it'd be like Rey Mysterio falling through a roof, and then it'd fall into the actual arena, and it's stuff like that. And then for myself, I don't know whether I should say this, it might incriminate myself, but I killed someone in the woods. And I guess this is my confession, really, to come clean, and it feels therapeutic. It was as the new Spider-Man came out.
Yes.
Something just came up inside me, and I hate Spider-Man. Hate him. I don't understand why he doesn't want everyone to know who he really is. So I killed him. Killed Spider-Man.
Wow.
And it's going to be this video. It comes out. It's just something different. It entertains me. There you are. There's the answer to that. If I'm rambling on, please tell me.
That's fine. I don't really enjoy it. Yeah. I can't wait to see it. So you have to message me as soon as it sells.
Video editing's hard. I didn't know this.
That's why I don't do it. So everything's audio.
Yeah, I'm like learning all of. It's kind of a skill set in itself. I'm learning how to transition and getting these nice color gradings going. So it looks really nice, but it's a lot of time. And I guess it's like when you first started podcasting, you'd have all this anxiety of, oh my God, is anyone even going to listen?
Yes.
It's the same for me.
13 people listen to our first show.
And now what have you got? A few thousand? Yeah, after saying that exact number, or take the chance to just exaggerate and be like, oh, come on, I've got 5,000 listening.
Well, it's probably about between 700 and 1,100 per.
There you go, then. There you go. So, for me, I've got this huge anxiety of oh my God, I'm not even a wrestler, and yet I'm recording this mini movie of me murdering Spider-Man in the woods.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds amazing.
So yeah, I'm scared that no one's going to watch it, but at the same time, I love it.
Yeah, I'm sure me and my son will be all over it. Yeah. It's
Cool. Yeah.
What
are you doing? Don't encourage him to watch stuff like that. How old is he?
My older son, he's 16. So.
All right, that's fine then. He can sneak in and watch 18 films now. He can lie and shit that Hawaiian passport.
He loves horror films. He's obsessed. He's getting into anime now as well.
Something we can talk about that.
It's completely passed me by. I've tried to watch it, but he likes it.
I recommend loads. The rule of thumb that I found anyway is that the longer the title, because a lot of words in Japanese just don't translate into English.
No.
The longer the title, the better the show. So I'm watching one at the moment called the Cafe at the End of the World that has a hidden door. Now, that's a really long English title. I'm pretty sure it's only called Higukake or something in Japanese. So I'm like, they really they have a word for the cafe at the end of the world that has a hidden door. Nice.
I think he's just finished watching My Hero Academia, the whole series.
It's awesome. I love it. I just love it. It's great. Wrestling could learn a lot from anime and vice versa. Love to see a wrestling anime.
Right, so
where they all actually have superpowers. Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
I do like that. We have discovered during lockdown that was it Super Fantasy Cosplay Wrestling. That's brilliant. That's brilliant to watch. So just superheroes, just wrestlers dressed as superheroes. Wrestling.
I can't imagine a worse place. Please book me on that somehow. Reach out to them. I'll send you my details. Reach out to them. You've genuinely just described my dream match. Going in and getting to fight cosplayers. That's the dream.
Yeah, I can't think of who's the episode on my head. I'll have to send you details because I can't remember off the top of my head who it was.
Oh, please do. I'd love that.
Yeah, they'll have the championship. The version of the 24/7 championship is the Toxic Crusade championship, and they'll have Deadpool and Wreck-It Ralph versus.
Incredible! Incredible! I love it. I love it.
I'll send you the link. Yeah,
Thank you.
It's my 6-year-old.
Thank you so much. That'll be my nightly viewing tonight.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I think it's just a cosplay convention, but it's so much fun.
Yeah. Oh no, honestly, if my personal life ever got mixed in with my wrestling life, I don't know what would happen because I'm doing this persona at the moment of the cosplay killer. I go to Comic-Con all the time. I play Yu-Gi-Oh still to this day. I love Yu-Gi-Oh. Play D&D. I'm a huge geek. I'm not ashamed. I love it. If any other wrestler, if you're listening to this and you're on a show, please bring your like a Magic deck or Yu-Gi-Oh deck or like Pokemon on your Switch with you. I'd like in locker rooms. I'd love to just like play some Pokemon.
Yeah, but my 6-year-old got a Switch for Christmas, and that's all he's done is play Pokemon. He loves it.
It's great, and like now, like when I was growing up, I'm in a weird generation of like the Game Boy that I had didn't have a backlight, so I'd like 3 o'clock in the morning, I'd be like on Pokemon Red with you could buy these like like glasses that have glasses that come over them.
Yes.
One of them for the Game Boy. And then it'd have a light, and it was like £20. And I remember having to like beg for this, for this magnifying light glass that I could use to go under my bedsheet to make like a tent.
Yes.
And hide under that with my Game Boy, being like, oh my God, where is Lapras? Come on, where is Lapras? Going around the Safari Zone. And my dad came in and just realized what I was doing and then confiscated it off me, and I'm pretty sure I never got it back after that. The extension light thing, just so that I'd actually sleep.
Yeah, I was slightly too old for slightly. My little brother, who's probably 33 now, I think I'm 7 years older than him. He was well into Pokemon, but I was slightly too old when Pokemon came out to really get into it at the time. I was into wrestling, and cartoons weren't cool now. So it's like one of those.
I guess I don't want to take a stab in the dark at your age, but I'm guessing you're in like the prime time of like you had the Monday Night Wars and that growing up, so you've like lived through some good days of wrestling.
When I
or am I just insulting you?
No,
you're actually 20.
No, I missed the Attitude Era. I was 17 when the Attitude Era started, so I wasn't watching that because I was out drinking and and it wasn't cool to watch wrestling. So I missed it. I've watched back and watched it retrospectively, but I basically watched up to about 97 and then got back into it for a little bit in 2001 when I heard the invasion was happening. So I thought that sounds cool, but for that, then I only watched it again till I moved out and I come up with Sky. And then I got back into it in 2006 because I heard ECW was starting again. So I watched it again for a bit.
Those one night onlys are fantastic, or one night stands. I can't remember the exact title. Yeah. Oh, they're fantastic shows.
Yeah, and then again, it was only when my son got back into it in 2011. We've watched it ever since then. So I had a big break.
I feel like I've turned this around. You've spoken more about wrestling than I have.
Ahoy, scallywags around the world, and this is the Pirate Prince, Joey Marcus, the natural born scallywag, and you are listening to Broken but Glorious.
Okay, so if you're promoted for a day, promoting a show, using wrestlers you've either worked with, trained with, wrestlers that are associated to you in some way, could be some wacky way, just have to have a connection to you in some way. If I give you a match type, you tell me who you're putting that match. So.
Cool. So my opener is Sheik El Sham versus Dean Allmark.
Wow, that'd be fun.
Exactly. It's fun. It's to draw people in. It's to make them go, oh, this is wrestling. And they are the two people that have influenced me and coached me the most this year. I trained at All-Star and Top Rope Wrestling Academy, which I can't recommend highly enough. What Sheik's doing with his new bunch of trainees is fantastic.
Oh, amazing.
There's going to be a lot of people coming out of there. You're like, wow, okay, cool. Sheik El Sham versus Dean Allmark.
Yeah,
it's going to be good.
I saw Dean Allmark last. I saw him on Thursday last week. That was the first time I've seen him at like a non-family show. He was bleeding. He was taking massive bumps onto guardrails. He did that TNT match was good. Somersaults off the top of the stairs. I was like, what?
Yeah, and the thing is, that's just one side of him. Like, Dean's crazy technical, and he could have had that kind of match, but he didn't. And he got busted open, and he took that crazy bump through a guardrail, and you're like, wow.
Yeah, but then he got took backstage and then 5 minutes later, they'll fight outside, and then he just flipped off the top. He just did a somersault off the top of the steps. I was like, what? Yeah, we thought he'd out the match. So they threw up the X and everything, so you think, oh no, it's like a real injury. Yeah, they conned us. So, what about a comedy match?
I have got Mitchell Starr versus Barry Pewet.
Oh yes, I like that. I've not heard of it.
I think that would be an incredible match. So Mitchell Starr's mainly WAW. He's getting around a lot, and it's a drag act. But he's utterly incredible. Wow. The way that he can draw you in is great. I know he's got some shows coming up. Please check him out. He's a lovely person as well. But evil in the ring, as the best heels are.
Yes.
Evil in the ring. And I think that'd just be an absolutely fantastic match. It'd be hilarious. But yeah, Mitchell Starr.
Yes.
Barry Pewet.
I love the gimmick of Barry Pewet. It's just hilarious. The way how he gets so excited when he gets a 2 count, and how he climbs up to the top rope and then climbs back down to the bottom rope. So because he's too scared to jump off the top rope. I think it's amazing.
Yeah. So the whole concept of that match is Barry really wants to wrestle, overly excited to wrestle. Mitchell Starr hates wrestling. Like at any opportunity, like 1 count, that's it. Out the ring. So it'll be the match of I want to wrestle versus the match of I really don't want to wrestle, and I won't let you wrestle either. And I just think it's going to be fun.
Cool, man.
So I've actually got a scramble match. I don't know if you watched Wrestle Kingdom, but they have a rumble, and the last 4 people in the rumble obviously make it through to day 2. And it's kind of along that lines. Apart from it will let you, this scramble match, compete later on in the night for the main title.
Wow. Yes.
So in this scramble match, we've got Alfie Brooke, Andy Knox, we've got Dougie Matthews, we've got Ren Brooke, who is an up-and-coming women wrestler out of the Britannia dojo that you've seen a lot of.
Yeah.
You've got Melanie Fierce, who's an up-and-coming wrestler out of Top Rope Wrestling Academy. She's honestly probably the future of women's wrestling in the UK. She's phenomenal. I couldn't put her over more.
Yes.
We've got Lance Rivera.
Yes.
We've got Ewan O'Rourke. And then for my, in these rumbles and scramble matches, you always have that little nostalgia. So one of my favorite people that I've ever met in wrestling, not like personal, but just as a wrestler, is Jack Sinclair. He's phenomenal. So I want him to come out for that little, you wrestler.
Oh, amazing.
Little pop. And, whittle it down. And out of those people, it's an elimination match. So you can win via over the top rope, submission, or pinfall. Whoever gets to win that goes on to have the ability to compete in the main event, which is for the main title.
Yeah. So who would be the?
I don't know. You have to come to the show to find out. That's the point in this. I'm trying to draw you in. I don't know. I really like the idea. This is breaking whatever rules of wrestling, of having a match where you don't know who the winner is going to be until halfway through the match, where the ref calls it.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
Yeah. So I think we stick all these people in this scramble match, and they all get themselves over, and then see who elicits a response and see who's feeling it.
Yeah.
And then imagine like Greenwood just going, oh yeah, by the way, Dougie Matthews, you're over. Or, by the way, Lance, you're over. Some of the wrestlers in that match, might not know. And then he goes, oh, by the way, I'm over. I really like the idea of that. So
Lance will be most upset if you don't pick him to win.
Well, that only gives me more reason for it not to happen now. Or maybe, like, you try and you lie in the ring. You're like, oh yeah, ref said I'm going over. And the other person that knows who they should be winning's like, no, I am. Yeah, why not? Why not? That's stipulation of that match. It's a scramble match. Winner gets to compete in the main event, and you don't know who's winning until halfway through the match.
Cool. Okay. Hardcore Extreme Rules style match.
Yeah, I've got the one that they call Jinha.
Yes.
Versus Ry Lloyd.
Ooh.
Versus Drew Parker.
That could be fun.
Oh yeah, they're gonna destroy each other, and it's a death match. Why not?
Definitely.
I want to see cheese graters. I want to see car batteries. I want to see light tubes. I want to see glass panels. Yeah.
I don't get deathmatch wrestling. I don't see why anyone would want to do it. It's just like.
Have you been to a zoo? Most people have been to a zoo.
Yeah, a zoo. Yeah.
What's your favourite animal?
Oh, I always like the elephants and I like the bats.
All right. I really like the spiders. I really like massive, huge tarantulas and all of that. And that's the best way that I can describe why people would be into it. Because when you go to the zoo,
I can see why fans would like to do it. I can't see why wrestlers would want to do deathmatch.
Oh, because it's inside you. It's innate.
Yeah.
It's like someone that guy that climbed the gherkin. Or like the shard without a harness on. Like something inside you compels you to go, you know what? I want to do this.
Yeah.
And the same way like Evel Knievel wanted to jump buses. It takes a special type of person. I'd never do it, ever. No. Ever. Not even toy around with the idea. Like, I'll have an actual, what people call shoot matches. Like, I'll have an MMA match with someone, but I'll never have a death match.
No. Yeah, so I interviewed Ryan Riot. He said he wants to have one just to see what it's like.
If you even have to question whether you can do it or not, it might not be for you.
Alfie Brooks wants to do it full time. He wants to be a deathmatch wrestler, he told me.
Right, okay.
Yeah. So. But he still does. That was 2020 when he did. So.
When I talk to people that do it, like, there's something inside them that makes them want to do it. So, like, Jinha the other week, just in training, just got a bag of tacks out and just bumped onto them for no reason other than he wanted to. Just because. A week before that, just went through a table just because. The class were asking, how do I go through a table? And we all looked at each other and went, what do you mean you have to, how do I go through a table? There's only one way you can go through a table. That's through it.
Yeah.
They were like, please, can you show us? Right. Where do you think this is going to go? Oh, and maybe it was just a massive rib. But yeah, he went through a table just on his own, did it.
Oh,
and there's something inside of him that compels him to do that. Yeah.
He did that with a shoulder injury as well, didn't he?
A leg, yeah. He has, like, at that point, no ligament in his leg. I just did it.
Yeah.
It's insane. I love it. I love it so much.
Cool. What's next on the list?
So this is my, the mid-card. I want to do myself, because I'm going to have to put myself over, versus Kev Lloyd.
Ooh.
And it's going to be a pancrase-style match.
Yeah.
And 3 rope breaks in the match, and let's see what happens. As technical as it gets, but not like wrist locks and stuff like that. No, let's have a pancrase match.
That sounds fun. I saw Kev Lloyd for the first time in August at Odyssey Pro Wrestling. First time I've seen him live. I've seen him on YouTube and stuff, but the first time I've seen him live, it was so fun. So.
Oh, I can't put him over enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just opened up a new school in Warrington. The first part of the session does catch wrestling, and then the second part of the session does pro wrestling. And I think anyone that enjoys just wrestling in general should at least learn where the history of it, because it all originated from carnivals, and I pay 2 sixpence to try and beat up you, and you can't do it because it's like Lou Fez getting the NWA belt, and it's because he could genuinely just beat someone up.
Yeah.
I think everyone should at least do a little bit of it before you can go, actually, I really respect pro wrestling now because this is where it's from. And it's like a respect thing.
Yeah, I think he brought back Sexy Kev for just one night because it was the debut show.
I love Sexy Kev.
So it was like, yay. So the first time I see Kev is, Sexy Kev. So it's hilarious. Tag team title match? No?
Yeah, problem is I've not got anyone for them to face, so this is going to be one where I genuinely don't know who's going to come through the curtains. It could be an import. It could be like a returning old tag team. Who knows? I've got the North Wales Collective, the Scallywags of the Joey Marcus and Ryan Riot.
Ooh.
But I have no idea, genuinely no idea who to put them against. And this is my fault because I only booked the card 2 minutes before it was meant to happen.
What's the... is it Death Row? Is that what Dan Evans and...
See, that's who I've put.
Dan White and...
I didn't know whether to put the Merseyside Murder Squad or Death Row. I genuinely didn't know. Now, I know they've already faced the Merseyside Murder Squad, so yeah, good shout. Thank you, co-booker. We'll have them versus Death Row.
Yes, Death Row. I fell asleep on the couch a couple of weeks ago, and when I woke up, it was PCW was on telly and Death Row were on. I thought, who saw them?
They're good lads.
Yeah.
They're really, really funny. After my match with, I'm getting confused. I want to say
Dan White.
Yeah, Dan White. At the end, the promoter for Britannia was like, "Were you two really hitting each other?" No, it's wrestling.
Yeah.
Oh, those strats look really good. And that's the segment where I just wanted to do an impersonation.
Because I wasn't sure who was the face and who's the heel in that, and then you attacked them after the match as well. So I'm guessing you were the...
Oh, I was meant to be the face.
Yeah.
As you can tell, all I did was wrestle.
Yeah.
And then I got angry that I beat him because I had another match later on where I was meant to be beating a kid up, and you can't have someone that you were cheering for now turn around and actually be a bad guy. Yeah. So it was the first match. Neither of us had established whether we were face or heel. We were just wrestling.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to have a face or a heel sometimes. You might just genuinely have two people fighting each other. So it was down for you to decide who the face and the heel was. And clearly, at the end of the match where I kicked him in the leg while he was celebrating, indicates that I'm the bad guy.
Yeah, definitely. And then it's your main events?
Yeah. So we've got the babyface Pitbull versus Rio.
Ooh.
And obviously, the person that won the scramble has the chance to come into that match and fight for the main belt. But I think these two could put on an absolute belting match.
I think they're both brilliant.
They're both so athletic. Like, Pitbull is abnormally strong. I had a pancrase match with him, and I don't want to say he embarrassed me, but I spent the entire match just pulling guard because he was so strong. Just so strong. I think he went easy on me, and I'm not doing this to like say, oh yeah, he's really good. Like, genuinely, I think he went easy on me. The opening of that match is he comes out and he just Sparta kicks me. Like, this is, and kicks me. I'm like, right, this is how it's going to go. I thought I was going to be nice and not strike you, like gentleman's agreement. But no, he just comes out the gate, Sparta kicks me.
Wow.
I was like, wow, okay. And he's abnormally strong in wrestling. He just looks like his Germans, his strikes. It's going to be great. And Rio, once again, I think she's so athletic and it's something different. And I think she'd give him a run for his money.
Yeah, she's great.
And you've got the wild card then coming in. Like, who could have stolen it out of that scramble match?
Lance.
Right, okay. Yeah,
For the benefit of Lance listening, because you'll moan.
Lance, if you're going to come in between that match, you're going to have to whap out a massive super kick.
Yes.
A massive super kick. And then you've got Pitbull that is going to be on your tails, ready to German you. So wouldn't you love to see that? Wouldn't you love to see it?
I can't believe that's never happened.
This is why I don't understand why a lot of intergender matches don't happen. One of my favourite matches is Thatcher versus Tony Storm.
Yes.
I can't remember what it's on. And I think it opens up all these possibilities. Like, Rio versus Pitbull is a great match.
Yes.
Let's have it. Someone, whoever's listening, please book it. If you're a promoter out there, please book it. Love to see it.
Yeah, I love that. Maria's so cool. Oh, yeah.
It's just cool. I wish I could pull off blue hair. I can't.
I dyed my hair purple once in 2007, and I thought I was dead good.
Oh. We've all been through that phase, trying to be edgy, and then you look in the at the time you think you're really cool, and then at the end, 2 years later, you look back on pictures and you're like, oh, actually,
yeah, I think it kind of ruined.
I reckon you would have looked cool though. I'm not trying to
I thought looked alright.
Pulled it off.
Except as it faded, when I kind of had pink hair for a couple of weeks until I shaved my head.
Did you peroxide it or bleach it before?
Yeah.
All right, you did it right then. I never did. So I was always like, why is this not working for me?
I've got one of my
stray cat red hair.
I've got my friend Gemma to do it properly. So we go to the festival. I had bright purple hair. It's quite fun.
Nice.
So
I never know how to compliment people. I'm awkward. No. I'm sorry. I'm genuinely trying to compliment you. I'm sure it would have looked good. I just have really bad social interaction. I am sure if anyone was backstage with me, I honestly mean this. I'm just awkward.
Yeah.
So
I was exactly the same.
I will say generic compliment because that's what I'm trying to do. But I don't know how to do it.
Well, yeah. I think that was a great card. I think I could, and a realistic card.
Yeah, that's the point. That's the point. I want to see these matches, and I think that's why it came so quickly to me.
Yeah.
These are matches that I want to see, so why wouldn't I book them?
Okay. I've just realised we're getting to the end, and we talked about a Tajiri story, which we haven't talked about yet. So should we?
Oh yeah, I was meant to promote some shows and talk about wrestling. I kicked Tajiri in the face, and that's why he liked me. So the story is that I went and did a seminar with Tajiri in a foreign country, with a good friend of mine, Matt. And this drill that we're doing, he's getting people to roll, just forward roll. And come up to a combat stance. And everyone's doing that. I don't know if you've seen the Breaking Ground video, and it was quite notorious at the time, where Regal's shouting at people, step forward, left foot forward. So everyone's doing that. And Tajiri's kicking people in the back of the head. Every time someone does a forward roll, kicks him in the back of the head. Kicks him in the back of the head. Every single person. And there are some quite, good people at this seminar. There's people now, really big on the indies that are at this seminar. And I'm from a background where I'm I get why he's kicking people in the back of the head. Because at this seminar, Tajiri did not say a word at all. And a little bit of the story later on that I'll come to. So he's kicking everyone in the back of the head. And I'm I don't want to be kicked in the back of the head. So I get in, I do my 2 forward rolls, and I know what I'm doing. So I come to a combat stance, and I know where his position is going to be because I've watched other people do it. So I kick him. I just kick him. I've got no fear. I don't care. I'm probably never going to see him again. And also, if I'm going to be remembered, it may as well be for kicking Tajiri in the head for this. So I kick him, and he just nods. He just nods and he goes back.
Wow.
I'm oh, that's weird. And then everyone else in the room just oh, did that just happen? Oh, and and this is why people think I'm awkward, because I am. And my brain just tells me to do these things.
Yeah.
And it leads to good places. It leads to bad places, but they're always interesting. So yeah, I kicked Tajiri in the head. Right, next bit of the story, the more interesting stuff. So a year later, I get booked to be in this promotion. And as I come in, in school when people did the hushed whispers and stuff like that. Oh yeah, Alexandra. Yeah. Did you know that he actually has a piercing that actually wraps round to his back, and it's where he holds his crossbow? It was one of them moments.
Yeah.
And they were he kicked Tajiri in the head. Oh, don't mess with him. I'm come on. And I get put into this. The gimmick of the match was it was international people versus British people. I was not put on the British team.
Oh.
I was teamed with a really good friend of mine. God, this is what I have a problem with. Gimmick names. The Swiss Rockstar, Tiago Montera, this other dude, which name escapes me and I don't want to say his real name, and me. So we've got a Swiss person, a French person, we've got a Portuguese person, and me.
Yeah.
And obviously you can tell from the way I sound, I'm not international. Against a team of British people. And at one point during this match, someone gets me into the corner and calls something, and they over the top call it like, I'm going to throw you into the corner, take an uppercut. Thinking that I'm international, I go, yeah, all right, sound.
Yeah.
And it was that moment in the match of, you're not foreign. No, why would I be foreign? And people just presumed. Just presumed. So the rest of that match went swimmingly. But yeah, planning that match was something else because everyone spoke different languages, and it was one of them matches where you had to, like, through hand signals and showing, like, bits on YouTube, planned the match.
Oh, wow.
And it was awesome. Anyway, yeah. Then I wrestled someone from Japan.
Yeah.
Which, same again. Now, I've been practicing my Japanese. I really wanted to impress. And this comes all the way back to the beginning of the story. So, at the end of the seminar, when Tajiri is saying bye, Tajiri does not speak a word of English, and there's a Portuguese person translating fake Japanese, pygmy Japanese, and then trying to translate it into English. And I'm like, please, like, there's no point. Just show us what we're doing. At the end, I go over to Tajiri. I'm like, Ayo gozaimasu, hajimemashite, Adam des, yoroshiku onegaishimasu, which means, hey up, or like, good morning. I'm Adam. Pleasure to meet you. I'm a student. Please look favorably upon me.
Oh, wow.
And he laughs and he just says, Tanuki, which I'm like, what? And then he like mumbles some stuff, which I was trying to work out. Like, I came home, I Googled it. I was like, oh, what does this mean? To this day, I have no idea what it means.
Oh,
but the Tanuki bit stuck with me, and it's like it just means dog. It's like a Japanese raccoon dog. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm taking that. I am taking that. So yeah, a lot of my persona comes from being a wild, like, little scrappy raccoon dog.
Oh, amazing.
And I thought that's really cool. He might have said it, he might have not, but genuinely, that's the one word that I could understand.
Yeah,
that's my story of kicking Tajiri in the head. So next time someone does a seminar, kick him in the head. No, don't. Please don't. But you might get a cool nickname out of it.
Yeah.
What else was I meant to do? Oh, yeah, promotion stuff.
Yes.
What have I got to promote?
Okay, so where can we see you in the near future?
Once again, I don't know. Stuff in wrestling happens to me. I don't proactively go out. I should, but I don't proactively go out.
Britannia on the 19th of February.
Britannia, 19th of February in Buckley. It's going to be a great show. We've got Top Rope Wrestling Academy. That's also happening in February, and I want to say the 5th. Please check them out. They've got some great up-and-coming stars from there. Yeah, that's it. That's all I've got to put over.
Do you want to promote any social media before we go?
Yeah, I have that. I have social medias. I do social medias. What do I use? Just Instagram. I like the pictures.
Yes.
And it's Adam Lowe's PW. That's it.
Cool. I'll put links in the description below the interview. So I've really enjoyed speaking today. I'd love to have you on again in the future. That was a lot of fun.
I'll come on and I'll talk. It might not be good, and it might not be about wrestling, but I'll talk. Thank you for having me.
I do like it when it goes off on a bit of a tangent.
Yeah, the entire time I kind of know what you look like. I think I saw you at a show, but all I know of you is the words Chris Lappin in Times New Roman on my screen. Hearing your voice, it's quite a therapeutic voice. It's nice. Should do ASMR or something. And that's it. That's all I know of you. But honestly, it's been a pleasure. I loved it. It's been nice.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, Harley, I do wish you the speediest of recoveries. You're one of the nicest people that I've met in wrestling. And even though I've come back now and like people see my faces around, you were always kind. So, please get well. Like, rest up, do what you need to do, come back kicking and strong, cause, you got a bright future. Don't change.
Yeah.
Please don't change.
Yeah,
cool. Yeah, I was meant to do that.